In this video, I'm going to show you a $5,000 investment and $200 every single week that's going to get you $1 million just from this one stock. Now, I know you see the title in the thumbnail and you're probably wondering why I'm doing a dividend video. Now, long-term investing is the best way to create wealth, and I think dividend stocks are an important topic to cover. And many studies have shown that day traders aren't likely to be profitable, so we're going to have to resort to long-term investing. Now, don't get me wrong, I know there are a lot of good day traders out there, and there's a lot of people I know that day trade for a living, but we're going to be sticking with the far majority here. And everyone's goal in life is financial freedom, and we want to be able to make some passive income so that we don't have to work for that money. Dividend stocks are a way that we can receive money from companies just for investing into them. Now, dividend stocks have fallen behind in the YouTube scene and the overall news cycle because of all these meme stocks and trending stocks like GameStop, AMC, and everything like that. And I'm making this video because this stuff is not going to last, and these people are going to get caught. A lot of people are going to get stuck bag holding, and people need to focus on the long term instead of just trying to chase the meme stocks. And if you could take anything away from this video, it would be that compound interest is king, and over time you're going to absolutely gain wealth if you continue to invest in these dividend stocks in great performing companies. Picking quality companies with really good dividends is going to really help you build that passive income and compound interest over time. In this video, I'm going to give you guys 3 dividend stocks that I'm really liking that I think is going to perform well for the next 40 to 50 years. And if you do enjoy the video, make sure you check out some of my other videos. And of course, if you enjoy the channel, make sure you subscribe. We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers. Now, the first dividend stock that we're going to talk about, you all know it, you all love it, but it has a really interesting story behind it. In the midst of the Great Depression in the 20s and 30s, a banker named Pat Monroe noticed people were using their last nickels to buy Coca-Cola. Now, shares at this time were extremely cheap, and Monroe invested into Coca-Cola shares, and he also urged many of his neighbors in Quincy, Florida to do so as well. Many followed him because he was a trusted banker. Now, they bought at the bottom of the market, and the farming town was able to keep afloat during the hard times with their Coca-Cola dividends. Now, this actually made Quincy the single richest town per capita in the entire United States, and at least 67 of their inhabitants were called the Coca-Cola millionaires. Now, just because they kept investing into Coca-Cola and were receiving those dividend payments, they amassed a huge fortune. And it's honestly pretty crazy to think about. Now, some of the greatest investors of all time have made a boatload of money off of Coca-Cola stock, including Warren Buffett. Now, Warren Buffett started investing right after the 1987 crash, and it actually made up over 20% of his portfolio in Berkshire Hathaway. Now, this huge risk has paid off because Coke's stock price since then is up 1,750%. And that's not including their dividend reinvestments. Now, Coca-Cola has increased their dividend every single year for 58 straight years, making them a dividend king. A dividend king is a stock that increases their dividend every single year for 50 years straight. And Coca-Cola is part of a small group of stocks that have done that. Now, Coca-Cola has been one of the most reliable stocks on the market, and it's not sitting anywhere near all-time high, so it's in a good buying spot right now, and it also has a dividend yield of 3.24%. Now, the next dividend stock I'm going to talk about is actually the arch nemesis of Coca-Cola, and it's going to be Pepsi. Now, Pepsi has increased its dividend for 48 straight years, making it extremely reliable and making it a dividend aristocrat. Now, a dividend aristocrat is a company that increases their dividends every year for 25 straight years, and they're just 2 years short of becoming a dividend king. Now, they give about $4.09 per share per year for their dividend. Now, the reason why I bring up Pepsi and the reason why I chose this stock is because they recently announced a partnership with Beyond Meat to produce new snack and beverage products that use plant-based protein. Now, this is going to reduce their environmental footprint and will have them team up with one of the largest plant-based companies in the world. Now, this partnership is going to significantly increase their revenues, especially if they can gain popularity in the plant-based audience. Pepsi also owns Lay's, Doritos, Mtn Dew, Cheetos, and Aquafina, so their brand is far diversified from just soda. Now, Pepsi also recently just beat earnings per share estimates and revenue estimates, beating the revenue estimates by 8.8%, where they had $22.5 billion worth of revenue, beating the $21.8 billion expectation. Now, they also had a strong guidance and expect strong beverage and snack sales throughout 2021. Now, Pepsi is also in a pretty decent spot on the chart. It has been selling off lately, but with these sell-offs, this is what you want to buy because you're going to be holding for the long term. And if you're buying into a good company like Pepsi, that's always going to have good sales and that's going to continue to increase their dividend every single year. You want to buy on these dips. Now the last stock on this list is going to be AT&T. Now AT&T is one of the most common stocks that I see in many people's dividend portfolios because it has a dividend yield of 7.29% and it's been extremely stable. Now there's actually been some bad news in December where they skipped their annual dividend raise for the first time since 2005, and the other two companies that I talked about on this list haven't done that in decades. Now as much as I want them to keep raising their dividend, I understand why they didn't. It's a lot harder for people to buy a phone service or even a phone than it is for them to buy a can of soda or some potato chips. Now, despite everything that went on in 2020, they actually beat Q4 revenue and earnings per share estimates. They also beat postpaid wireless phone net addition estimates by 64%, showing growth and adaptations of emerging phone plans. Now, this big sell-off at the end of December came when they announced that they were skipping their annual dividend increase, but it's held a really nice support at this 28.5 level, and as you can see, it has not recovered from the March drops. Now, a theme with good companies is you want to buy the dip, you want to buy when the price is low, you want to buy when everyone is fearing because that's when there is opportunity. Now, personally, I think this is an excellent opportunity to buy a stock that's going to pay you 7.29% of your investment every single year, and it's also got great fundamentals, and it also has really good upside for the stock price. Now I'm going to show you guys the power of compound interest. First, we're going to take an initial investment of $5,000 into AT&T, and we're also going to contribute $200 every single week, so $800 per month. Now, if we do this over 30 years with the interest rate of 7.29, which is AT&T's dividend yield, this isn't accounting for any share price growth, which is likely to happen. But as you can see, if we click calculate, we're going to be making $996,000 in 30 years just off $200 a week and a $5,000 initial investment. So that's honestly pretty insane. You're only investing about $250,000, $293,000 as you can see right here, and you're going to end up with $1 million. Now, honestly, I think that is really insane, and it's also a really safe investment because you're guaranteed to get that 7.3%. Now, this does not factor in the dividend increase every single year that they're likely to do over the next 30 years, so the dividend price now is probably going to be lower than it will be in 30 years. Now, even Albert Einstein knew the power of compound interest. He even said that it was the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Now, of course, this video is educational purposes only, and this is not financial advice. I do want you guys to do your own research. I'm just giving you guys some surface level ideas and what I do think is going to succeed in the long-term future. Now, let me know your thoughts on what your favorite dividend stocks are. I definitely want to hear some of you guys because I want to be adding some dividend stocks in my portfolio because long-term investing in compound interest is going to be my #1 priority. So I do want to see if you guys have found some better ones or if you guys agree with me and you like these ones that I mentioned in the video. And of course, make sure you subscribe if you enjoy the video. I'll be coming out with more content, stock news, investing ideas, and stuff like that. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video.